In the illimitable nighted depths of the ocean, a chilling legend has lurked for centuries. A tale of blasphemous unions between humans and ancient aquatic beings known as the Deep Ones. These creatures, born from the cosmic horror of H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu Mythos, have captivated readers and writers alike with their twisted and fascinating lore. This video will plumb the murky waters of the Deep Ones, dredging up their mythological origins and their manifestations in the works of Lovecraft and other authors of the Cthulhu Mythos. We'll expose the secrets of their life cycle, from their youthful hybrid forms to their eventual metamorphosis into fully aquatic abominations. Take a deep breath as we venture into the realm of the Deep Ones, for it may be your last, as the horrors that dwell beneath the waves bide their time, waiting, watching, for the stars to be right. The Deep Ones are an ancient race of amphibious beings that dwell in the deepest trenches and sunken cities of the world's oceans. These creatures are possessed of a unique life cycle that begins with their intimate interactions with humans. Through unholy rituals and interbreeding, the Deep Ones create hybrid offspring, who appear largely human in their early years. However, as these hybrids mature, they undergo a gradual and horrifying transformation, slowly developing more aquatic features until they are barely recognizable as their former selves. The first signs of this metamorphosis often manifest in the development of a peculiar, rough scaly texture on the skin, followed by the gradual webbing of the hands and feet. As the change progresses, the hybrid's facial features become more pronounced and fish-like, or ichthyic, with bulging eyes and a gaping mouth filled with sharp, jagged teeth. Their bodies undergo a similar distortion, with scales forming and limbs elongating to aid in aquatic movement. Eventually, the once human hybrids succumb entirely to their Deep One heritage, shedding the remaining vestiges of their humanity and returning to the depths from whence their ancestors came. There, they dwell in the sunken cities and labyrinthine caverns that dot the ocean floor, existing in an eternal state of servitude to the inscrutable designs of their aquatic masters. The greatest and most powerful of the Deep Ones are truly monstrous, nigh immortal beings known as Dagon and Hydra, or also Father Dagon and Mother Hydra. Vast and ancient examples of their kind that are considered to be among the pantheon of the Great Old Ones, like Cthulhu or Hastur, priests and heralds of those utterly alien, malevolent and incomprehensible entities, the Outer Gods. The legends of the Deep Ones can be traced back to ancient tales of merfolk, sea monsters, and other aquatic creatures that have haunted the nightmares of sailors and coastal dwellers for millennia. These stories, passed down through generations of oral tradition, speak of human-like beings that dwell beneath the waves, luring unsuspecting victims to their watery lairs with enchanting songs or devious trickery. One of the earliest known references to such creatures can be found in the writings of the ancient Greeks, who spoke of the Tritons, a race of mermen who were said to dwell in the depths of the Mediterranean Sea. These beings were often depicted as having the upper bodies of men and the lower bodies of fish, complete with scaly tails and fins. Similar legends can be found in the folklore of various cultures around the world, from the Jengua of West Africa to the Ningyo of Japan. Each of these tales speaks of aquatic humanoids, often with malicious or mischievous intentions towards those who dwell on land. It is from these ancient myths and legends that Lovecraft drew inspiration for his own twisted creations, the Deep Ones. In his works, he wove the age-old tales of Tritons into a tapestry of cosmic horror, imbuing the Deep Ones with a sinister and otherworldly nature that transcended their mythological roots. The Deep Ones made their first appearance in Lovecraft's seminal work, The Shadow Over Innsmouth, published in 1936. In this chilling tale, the narrator discovers the horrifying truth about the residents of the remote New England coastal town of Innsmouth, that they are the descendants of an unholy union between humans and the Deep Ones. Through a series of terrifying encounters and revelations, the reader learns of the existence of a cult that worships the Deep Ones and partakes in rituals that involve the mating of human women with the aquatic creatures. The resulting offspring, known as hybrids, are born with a human appearance but gradually transform into their Deep One heritage as they age. Lovecraft's descriptions of the Deep Ones themselves are nightmarish and otherworldly. He depicts them as humanoid beings with abnormally bulging eyes, a wide malformed mouth and flabby lips, and a glistening, scaly body. Their movements are described as awkward and undulant, as if they were more at home in the water than on land. On completing their metamorphosis, the Deep Ones of Innsmouth would go to the city of Unholy, located at Devil's Reef, in the coastal waters near the town. Unholy is the only aquatic Deep One settlement mentioned by Lovecraft, but many others are purported to exist beneath the world's oceans. The Shadow Over Innsmouth is not the only work of Lovecraft's in which the Deep Ones appear. In his earlier work, Dagon, there are descriptions of beings that closely resemble the Deep Ones, without specifically naming them, hinting at a larger cosmic significance to these creatures and their role in the greater Cthulhu mythos. Indeed, the hybrids of Innsmouth are members of a religious cult called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Other authors within the mythos have also expanded upon the Deep One's lore, adding their own unique interpretations and contributions to the canon. One notable example is Brian Lumley's Dagon's Bell, which follows the exploits of a man who becomes embroiled in the machinations of a Deep One cult operating in modern-day England. Lumley's Deep Ones are portrayed as more overtly malicious and violent than those depicted in Lovecraft's works, with a penchant for ritualistically sacrificing their human victims. Lumley also delves deeper into the physiology and societal structures of the Deep Ones, painting a vivid picture of their undersea cities and the hierarchies that govern them. The legacy of the Deep Ones has extended far beyond the pages of Lovecraft's works and the boundaries of the Cthulhu mythos. These creatures have found their way into various forms of modern culture, from film and television to video games, and beyond. One of the most notable depictions on the silver screen is in the 2017 French-Spanish film, Cold Skin, set in 1914 and starring Ray Stevenson and David Oakes. Directed by Xavier Gens, the movie follows a meteorologist who is stranded on a remote island and forced to contend with a colony of fish-human hybrid creatures that bear a lot of the hallmarks of Lovecraft's Deep Ones. Following an encounter with a female from the colony, the meteorologist and the island's resident lighthouse keeper have to do battle with nightly waves of the creatures. The film's practical effects and creature designs are particularly noteworthy, bringing a tangible and terrifying reality to these beings of myth and legend. A more direct cinematic depiction of the Deep Ones can be found in the 2001 film, Dagon, directed by Stuart Gordon. Loosely inspired by Lovecraft's work, Dagon follows a couple who become stranded in a remote Spanish village and encounter a cult of Deep One worshippers. While not as faithful to Lovecraft's original work as some may have hoped, Dagon nonetheless captures the essence of the Deep Ones and their sinister rituals. The film's creatures, brought to life through a combination of practical effects and CGI, are a nightmarish mashup of human and fish features, sure to haunt the dreams of even the most seasoned horror fans. Beyond film, the Deep Ones can also be found lurking in video games. One notable example is the Sinking City video game released in 2019, which draws heavily from Lovecraft's mythos and features encounters with Deep One hybrids as a central part of its narrative. The game's developers put a great deal of effort into accurately portraying the Deep Ones as described in Lovecraft's works, from their physical appearance to their behaviors and societal structures. From the depths of ancient mythology to the pages of modern horror fiction, the Deep Ones have thrilled and horrified audiences for generations. Born from the twisted imagination of H.P. Lovecraft and expanded upon by successive waves of authors and artists, Deep Ones represent the horrific blending of human and inhuman, the disgust and fear of flesh out of place, of inhuman physical features on recognizably human bodies. Through their unique life cycle, Deep Ones blur the lines between the familiar and the alien, challenging our very notions of what it means to be human. They come freighted with fears of the unknown, of the loss of identity, and through their immortal transformation, of the cosmic insignificance of mortal existence in the grand scheme of the universe. Yet, despite the inherent horror that surrounds them, the Deep Ones also hold a powerful allure, a fascination born from their otherworldly nature and the occult secrets that shroud their origins and motivations. Some things are best left unknown, but there are always those seekers who are compelled to know. So, as we bid farewell to these aquatic horrors, let us remember the cautionary tale they represent. Let us embrace the mysteries of the unknown while also respecting the boundaries that separate the natural from the unnatural, the human from the inhuman. For in the end, it is this delicate balance that keeps the deep ones at bay, forever confined to the realms of myth and nightmare, where they rightfully belong.